Welcome to What's Your Story, where we, Jamie Marco,
and Stan Brown.
delve into the extraordinary lives of everyday people.
Listen in as we uncover the unique tales that shape who we are.
One story at a time.
Hey, let's get ready to explore today's story.
Let's do it. Hello, Dodd.
Hello, Jamie.
So this is my favorite week. It is like one of my favorite holidays.
Wait, there are 52 weeks in a year. This is the one favorite of the 52?
No, I have lots of favorite weeks,
Okay.
but for those that know me, Halloween is my favorite holiday. I love it.
You had good memories as a child?
No, not really.
Okay. So you're actually,
Bad memories.
but you're extending the joy of
Yes.
childhood and
Well, like we have decked out our whole house. Our whole house is like Halloweened out, our front yard, all this kind of stuff. It's just a fun holiday. It's actually funny. We were driving around our neighborhood and all these people had like these crazy, like wicked, scary stuff. I'm like, crazy, weird holiday that we celebrate.
it's satanic.
I don't love like that part of it, but we just have fun. It's just fun. You get dressed
Is there
up
any
and
possible connection because your husband is a raving chocoholic?
no, definitely not. Definitely not. No, but what's really funny is that so we have these like we like to play pranks on each other. So
Who's we?
me and my husband.
Okay.
And so years the
Chocoholic.
chocoholic. So years ago we bought this like black plastic cat. And what we do for the whole month of October is we get out of storage and then we start hiding in different places to try and scare each other. And it is like the most fun ever. We like jump out. He did this whole contraption one time where he had it like where I opened up my closet door and it dropped down. It
Thanks
did
for
go.
listening. We're late for a therapy session. My God.
So yeah, so Halloween, it's on a Friday this year. It's just fun. Like I get dressed up to go pick up my daughter at school, and we had just
It
it's
adds a
just
little
fun.
spice to life. That's all.
It's just fun. But this time of
It's
year,
a celebrate overseas.
it wasn't for a long time. But so Viv, who is our podcast and producer, Viv, shout out to Viv, is in New
Yo,
Zealand.
Viv, how
Yeah,
you doing?
is in New Zealand. And she's having a Halloween party this year, but she had mentioned to me that Halloween was never like a big thing there. And then even in my family and my husband's side in the UK, Halloween was not always a big thing, but it's like coming up now. It's more now so than ever. So it's fun. The kids they come to the door. It's just in our community especially, it's like such a community event where everyone's outside with tables and walking by and just people are being community-ish. Is that a word?
Community, yeah, they kind of are. The
Yeah.
thing is, but see, in a larger sense, every day we're all wearing a mask.
We are. We are. I actually just talked about that in a talk recently
You
about
did?
I did.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, about how we are, we're wearing a mask and we're not able to really say how we actually feel, who we actually are. It's this whole like comparison thing, whatever. We'll talk about that another time. But this time of year is also very special for you.
I told you before. Every day. And when I just wake up, I feel just great out because I woke up. Yes, it's nice.
Okay, I know, but do you know what I'm getting at?
Well, I think we'll talk later.
Okay, so we have a special guest today.
Oh, this guest I am going to give a very hard time to. This may cost us the entire podcast. Yeah. There's no turning back.
Okay.
Please stay tuned.
Well, and what's really interesting is that you're going to be leaving me and going and joining this guest in the guest room.
I'm taking a brief sabbatical, yes.
Okay. So do you want to go now?
Is that a cue?
Yeah.
Folks?
All right, folks. So my dad is going to join our special guest. We don't do this very often, but we are in the same space and we are going to bring in our special guest in just a minute. But we got lots of questions about who are we? What's our story? And we don't really share our story because your story is more important to us. But we thought that in a year where just life is so precious and things are so important, that today we would tell a little bit of our story. So I'm going to go ahead and welcome in our guest. Let's see if I can do it. You're gonna have to unmute yourself, I think, and start your camera. Yeah, unmute yourself and start your camera. Do you know how to do that? There they are.
Oh, no. Oh, you opened me.
All right. Okay.
I didn't hear you.
Does that give you, listener, any insight into the therapy I need? So, if you haven't realized because you're not watching yet, but you're just seeing it or you're hearing us. Our guest today is the matriarch of our family. Hi, Mom.
Hello, Jamila.
Hello, hello. So
Is-
today we get to have my mom and my dad. I'm gonna close my doors because I feel like you guys are echoing. They're actually both here. So let me
We
close
are?
the
We are.
door to my house, to my office.
We indeed are the creators.
Yes, and we are here.
How's the sound? Can I hear you? Let me see. Can I hear you?
Can you hear us?
How do we look?
Hear you. You look great. So,
Wonderful.
listener, today we have Mr. and Mrs. Brown, my mom and my dad here. The
Is
week
that
of
what you call us, Mr. and Mrs. Brown? You call us
No, I
that?
don't call you that, no.
Okay.
Unless I'm like, Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely daughter.
Yes,
That's our actually, isn't that a thing that you dial tone on your phone?
it is
Oh,
about,
no.
it's my dial tone for you.
Oh, when I call you, that's what it says?
That's correct.
Did you hear that, sisters? I'm the lovely daughter, not you. I've got two sisters, listeners, so
Yes.
I feel privileged now. Woohoo.
Mhm.
But so Mom, we were just talking about how this week is Halloween week, but also we are celebrating 54 years of the two of you being married this week as well.
Pretty scary, Mary, huh?
Woohoo.
I actually don't know
Pretty
that.
scare all by itself. Trick or treat.
Lots
I
of
think it's a
treats,
treat.
lots of treats.
What'd you say?
Lots of treats.
But I think it's really interesting, right? So, what made you choose like the week of Halloween to get married? Like that's an interesting, like what was it about that? Do you
We
remember?
have to go back in the Wayback Machine.
Well, the Wayback Machine
remembers
says the
everything.
reason is number one, right before the month before is all of the Jewish holidays. So you could not find a date to get married. So we had to pick a date right after the Jewish holidays that was available.
Because we got married in a fever,
Yes.
hotter than a pepper sprout.
Wait, okay, so but this is actually pretty cool. So we're gonna be learning their story, and I know my parents' story. Obviously, I'm their child, but I feel like there are some things that I don't know. So you've been married 54 years. How
If you go into my phone, you'll know everything.
Sorry about that. A little distraction.
how long were you married or were you engaged before you got married? I don't know that.
Well, define engaged.
Like
9
ring a
months.
finger.
The answer is 9 months.
9 months.
But we didn't have our first child till 3 years later.
Yeah, so stop counting out there.
Okay, but so 54 years ago, I don't do
Right.
math, but I believe that's 1970. Is that right?
71.
71. Oh, 71. That's right. Because, okay, yeah. How did you, so, but you met. So, how
Yeah.
did you
Very, very.
meet?
No one you ever know in your life has met like we met. Not only
Right.
was it serendipitous, that's a multisyllabic word, the conditions were just, you couldn't even predict them.
Do you want to know
Well,
how
let's
we
talk
met?
about how I met my
I'll
husband.
tell you where I was. I had graduated college in 1970 from the great Boston University. I was inducted for my physical for Vietnam. I did not pass. We'll talk about that for reasons later. I had to get a job. Had no direction. Had a degree in psychology. I said, well, I had worked in the Mass General Hospital when I was as an orderly, and I had a friend, I think at Beth Israel, and I applied to be trained as a scrub nurse. Were you part of the surgical team? So I got a job there. I just arrived back from about 8 weeks in Europe, which was my trip to myself after college graduation, and really was not in the best of moods. Kind of my blue period, a little down in the press, had no direction, didn't know where I was going, and I went to work in the hospital.
Okay, this is in Boston.
Yeah,
Boston.
Beth Israel Hospital.
Beth Israel in Boston.
I was part of the surgical team. I would get the instruments, hand the instruments to the doctors, and that kind of stuff.
Okay, so Mom, we'll get to you in a second. But so, Dad, you like grew up in Boston. You went and traveled Europe for 8 months on your own.
No. 8 weeks after that was my
8 weeks, yeah.
Okay,
I
on
went
your
to
own.
Boston Latin School and then Boston University.
And for 8 weeks, you went to Europe on your own and just
Yes.
traveled and stayed in hostels and like did whatever.
But to show you how stupid I was, the best way to travel in Europe at that time was to travel at night. So you have sleeping accommodations on the train. I didn't know that. So I would travel during the daytime. I wanted getting to Venice, Italy, after the hostels had closed. I said, where do I sleep? I knew nobody. I had a backpack and looked around. I found they have those little parks where the benches are. I said, I don't have a choice. I have to sleep someplace. I put the sleeping bag down on the floor. I woke up in the morning covered in fire ants. So traveling.
So now that he's got me, he knows how to travel
Absolutely.
much better. Yes,
But
there's
that's
no
just
more.
like crazy because I can't imagine like back then there were no cell phones, there was no internet.
Right.
You literally had to like send your parents postcards to let them know that you were alive.
Parents,
Yeah.
parents.
Jamie,
All right.
it was only 8 weeks. They could wait till I get back.
I can't go 8 minutes without knowing
What
where
could
my child is.
happen?
All right. So then, Mom, you
Yeah.
grew up in New York. What brought you to Boston?
Well, I graduated. I graduated nursing school and I went to work in a very small hospital in Spring Valley. And I lived with my parents
In New York.
in New York. And every morning was torturous. Getting up in the
You were for
morning.
them.
Yeah,
You were for them.
both. And I finally woke up one morning after just realized I was like running the operating room there, and but it was still a little tiny hospital, and I was going home to my parents every night in a very small town. So I woke up one morning and I said to my mother, I said, I'm going to Boston. I'm going to go live in Boston. And she said to me, she goes, what is in Boston? It's the only place in the world we have no family, no nobody. And I said, I graduated from the Beth Israel in New York, and there's a Beth Israel hospital in Boston. And I knew I can get a job just getting there. And that's exactly what
Your
happened.
destiny was
And you had
in the making.
never been there before.
Never.
Did you drive to Boston? Did you take a train?
Yep, I drove. I got it.
She had a luxurious car.
Hey, it was luxurious. It was beautiful.
It was a death trap. Tell what it was.
I had a Pinto, a lime green Pinto. And the joke with the Pinto is that they knew the engines were in the rear and they were blowing up no matter.
No, it was the gas tank in the rear. If you hit a collision, the gas tank would explode.
But it was in the rear of the car. First week in Boston, it's snowing, it's ice. I'm stopped at a light. A huge tanker goes right through the back of my car.
Did it blow up?
No, it was very sweet to me, but I had to get a new car.
She always kept the gas too low in her tank. That was the problem. Otherwise, boom.
I would talk if I were you.
I have gas all the time.
That is crazy. And you were fine and safe? Like you didn't get hurt?
Nothing. Yeah, nothing. Everything was fine. Yeah.
So you're in New York, you're working at the hospital, and you know no one.
No,
In New York,
Boston.
I mean, in Boston.
Yeah.
You know no one.
Well, I moved there with my a nurse that I was working with in the hospital in Spring Valley, and she was in a similar situation. She wanted to get out also. So we roomed together. We rented an apartment together.
What was her name? I don't
Maddie. Maddie. I don't know her last name.
Maddie?
Yeah, Madeline.
Oh, that's so funny. So you don't know where she is today in the world?
I have no idea. No.
And you don't know her
I think when I moved in, she moved out.
Well, hold on. Okay, so you're there. How long are you there before you need that nutbag?
When did this go south?
Maybe a month.
Well, the problem is, for you guests out there who've never been in an operating room. In an operating room, everybody is scrubbed in and sterile except for one person, the RM, because they have to have someone out there in case they need some drugs. She has to leave the operating.
Not only drugs, you're responsible for the room. So you're counting you don't know what it is, but it's called sponges. It's what they blot up the blood with. You have to make sure that all the ones that go in come out. You're basically running the entire room.
And in those
you're
days,
an RN in those days. And then they had technical people working, helping the doctors that were not nurses or anybody. They were just technicians, but they knew the instruments and they would help them but anything that had to do with the room, anesthesiology, bringing them more medicine if they needed it, anything that had to do with that was the RN's responsibility.
And the problem, because of the oxygen or the gases used in inhalation therapy for the anesthesiologist, we had to wear protective booties so you wouldn't have a spark develop. It'd blow up the entire room. And the nurses, she had like little sneakers that were non-conductive sneakers she walked around in, and she's used to wearing heels all her life, so kind of she walked a little funny with these sneakers all over the place. We didn't have Nikes and stuff then, so it was a weird situation. But more than that,
I wore clogs.
That clogs too. But more than that, when you work with someone in the OR, we know what you wind up seeing.
Just their eyes, like yeah. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
And the eyes are very expressive, and you always envision what that person's going to look like until they take their mask off.
All right, so you're seeing each other there with only eyes open.
Well, I didn't know who I had no idea.
That's like a movie, I think.
I had no idea who I was working with. It was very, very strange. And one day, I'm leaving at night, and someone's coming out of the nurse's lounge with a long fur coat and long, really hair down to her waist. And it's literally like you see on TV, someone takes a second take. She's walking down the hall. Who was that? Wow. I had been working with her for about a week, had no idea who it was. So anyway,
What'd you do?
But she was dating all the doctors. I was a bum. She was dating all the doctors. It was a teaching hospital. All the young doctors were hitting on her. She was like the new girl in town. You know what I mean?
So then what? So how did you end up being together? Like what happened?
You know what roofies are? I was not a roofer.
Yes.
God.
Well, we had this little guy in the instrument room where
Ben.
all the instruments
What was
go
his name?
into. His name
Ben.
was Ben.
Nice guy.
And
You know his last name?
we don't know his
Ben.
last
It was
name.
Ben.
Ben.
Ben Man.
I don't remember his last name. Do you remember?
No.
I don't remember.
Well,
But
Ben, if
anyway,
you're watching and you know to call us in, go ahead.
Ben would have been much older than us. But anyway, so Ben decided that we should date.
Okay.
He liked me.
And he did everything in his power to try to fix us up. But there were some very evil women in that operating room who did not want us to be fixed up.
Why?
Can you really define evil?
Ooh, I've not heard this part of the story. Do tell. Go on.
And Dad was, let's say, experimenting with different things at the time. So they would be sitting out, and I really never did any. I never smoked. I was the goody goody. But I would come into the operating room or right after a surgical procedure,
Right.
and 3 or 4 of them would be sitting on the floor, which is not allowed anyway, and they'd be like, "Whoa, isn't the sky beautiful? Isn't the operating room so clean? Isn't everything just terrific?"
Two people see the same thing and describe it totally
Yeah, what
different.
did you describe when you were sitting on the floor?
It's pretty. It's nice.
Wait, in the operating room, like after?
Yes, in the operating room.
All
So
right,
yeah.
fast forward. How do you finally
fast forward,
give him a shot?
Dad finally got
I got the courage.
gumption, the courage to ask me out on a date, only because there was another guy there from God knows how he knew him, Stephen.
No, not mentioning his name.
Yeah.
The name, like Voldemort. You
Right.
don't mention that name.
He decided that he would ask me out first.
Was he the same position or was he a doctor?
The same
No.
position, no. The doctors is a whole different. I went out with doctors too.
That's a good
That was a
story.
whole different story. But so Stephen asked me out first. And Dad didn't like that because I went out with Stephen for a date.
Yeah, where did he take you?
Yeah, right. He went to
Some adult movie. Come on.
He did.
He did? Wait, like a porn?
Yes.
Well, it
Yeah.
wasn't hardcore.
But
That was your first date?
my first date with this guy, Stephen. So needless
Oh
to
my
say,
God.
That's called the tester.
so
Oh my
I
God.
went back and I was like, I'm back to the doctors. Forget these 2 yo-yos.
Wait, first of all, how have I never heard this story in 47 years? I
It
don't
never
know.
came up
You
in
never asked
conversation.
us.
But the story gets better. It gets better.
Oh, go ahead.
You asked how we met.
Yes.
We actually met. I'll tell you later. But I had every time I got a case in the OR, you had to go pick up your instruments. Ben would set the instruments out for you, depending on what the case. Laparotomy, just exploration, gynecological stuff, whatever it was. So I see up on the board. I'm scared. My next case is scheduled. It's called a bilateral nephrectomy.
What's that?
So I went to the OR supervisor, Betty Swenson. She was a wild gal. I said, Betty, I've got to pick some instruments. And I realized a nephrectomy is when we're taking someone's kidney out. She says, yes. I said, and I think bilateral means both sides. She says, yes. I said, well, we're taking out both of his kidneys. And she said, yes. I said, well, how's he going to live? She said, he's dead. It was a 42-year-old guy suffering an aneurysm in the shower. So
he was a donor.
He was an organ donor.
Right.
Oh my
So I had to get two tray sets, okay, one for each kidney side, and your kidneys are located in your rear side. So the patient came in lying face down. I had 2 surgical teams. She's working in the room. Okay, she's the one running around the circulator. So I got 2 surgical teams, one on one side, one on the other side. This is before we always cut ourselves sometimes.
We never wore gloves.
Yeah,
we
you
never
get
wore
licked with a
gloves.
blade or
Yeah.
something. But there was no AIDS, no problem.
Yeah.
This was like the 70s, right?
Yeah.
It was like a
60s.
70s.
7.
70s.
We used to
You
use
guys got married in 71. So this is
Oh, so this was
It's
70.
the 70s.
70. Yeah.
And we used to use the number 20 blade, which is a pretty large scalpel blade. They had two different teams, and neatness did not count. They wanted to get the organs out as quickly as possible into the coolers and get them.
And the helicopters were waiting.
The slicing and dicing. I said, guys,
Yeah.
usually I stay part of the team. I walk. You guys take care of this yourself. So that's that was the day I started coming out of the nurses' lounge. We worked the entire day together in the bilateral nephrectomy. Had no idea who she was.
Yeah, the 3 weeks of Ben going, you need to ask her out. You need to ask her out. But he had no idea.
I asked Ben out. It didn't go that well.
So when did you ask her out?
Apparently sometime. Things are a little foggy back then.
Well, I was the new girl and I was an RN and they were all techs. So they were all beneath.
It was kind of a class structure.
Yes. So I wasn't, and they all had this clique where they would hang out together, smoke pot and do their stuff. And I had no interest in any of that. So he finally got the gumption to ask me out. So where does he take me?
There wasn't skiing. We went to Peter.
No, Stephen, Peter's house.
We had a party at Peter's house. My buddy Peter.
Yeah, so he takes me to his best friend's party.
Peter had a huge house in the Blue Hills of Massachusetts.
Huge house, beautiful stuff.
In the woods.
You still talk to him?
What's that?
No.
I can't find him.
Yeah.
Peter Fisher, are you out there? Call Stanley Brown. I miss you.
Okay.
But so Peter's house was very intimidating and it was big and his parents came.
Oh, it was
to
like
the
3
party.
levels, the old country kitchen.
And then every bathroom had naked pictures of their kids. And they were in their 20s.
Oh.
I mean, it was insane. I was like, okay, this is wonderful.
That's weird.
So we went, so that was our first date.
And did you like him?
Yeah, I kind of liked him. He was kind of interesting, but he was very frustrated.
We kind of say quirky.
Because there was this one woman that was didn't like us dating at all, and she kept putting her 2 cents in.
And 2 cents then was a lot of money.
Yeah, and she was a lot of woman.
Okay. What was her name?
She looked like Janis Joplin.
Oh,
Her name was Margie Basin. Margie, if you're out there, go find Peter for me. Forget about me. I'm already married. Go find Peter.
All right. Okay. So you go to this date and then what?
It was so good. We went on the second date.
No, we didn't. We didn't go out for a while. Then I went out with a couple of doctors and stuff. And then
how were those doctor dates?
They were okay. They weren't anything. Obviously, they weren't anything great.
Apparently, someone set the bar. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. So then he decided to take us on a second date, which the second date was even better than the first date because the second date was a Shiva call with his aunts.
And for those that don't know,
Annie.
That's a funeral. That is like when someone dies.
Right.
Jewish religion, you go and you sit for 7 days in someone's house to mourn the person. So you went to Shiva for Annie?
No, it wasn't for Annie. It was somebody in one of the uncles or something.
Maybe Uncle Lou.
It was Uncle Lou or something.
Hey, she got to meet the family.
And
it was tough to get the family.
No, Annie was
it's so tough to get the family together. Someone has to die. You get them all in the same room.
So Annie was there with her sisters, Bella.
Yeah, Bella. Charlotte.
And who else?
They had some flatulence.
They sat on the couch and they would be going like.
They had flatulence issues.
And you were like, oh my God, this is a family that I want to be part of? Were you like,
exactly? I was like, okay, get me home quickly.
Sometimes you meet families where they put on airs. Our air was a little rarefied.
All right, so that's date number 2. So what are you thinking after date number 2? Like, Dad, at this point, are you like, yes, I like her. I want to be with her?
I had to arrange this guy to die to get another date with me. Think it's easy? Is there a statute on this? Statute's over.
Yeah. So then came date number 3. So Dad had
what do you do in Massachusetts in the wintertime as a fun date? Guess. Come on, guess.
I don't know, like hot chocolate.
We'll depend on. Shh.
Are you in skiing?
Hello.
Yes.
Okay. Where'd you go ski?
Guess who had never skied before in their life?
Both of you?
Right. No, Dad knew how to ski. I never even knew what a ski
Hold
looked
on.
like.
Dad knew how to ski, but he like forgot how to ski over the last 47 years.
No, he skis.
That's debatable.
He doesn't like it.
Me and the bunny hill, they're like this.
Yeah, you knock people down. Okay, so you go skiing and where?
Well, wait. So we go to his friend John's fraternity house.
Up in University of Vermont.
And we're staying there. It was the filthiest pieces of garbage you've ever seen in your life.
All these guys are slobs.
But John says to me, he goes, it's no problem. He goes, I have my sister's skis and my sister's jacket and my sister's boots. I said, what size are they? Don't worry, just put them on.
I should have known something because John and I went swimming once and he brought some scuba equipment. I had no idea how to put it. He says, just put the tank on. You jump in the water, not a problem.
Right.
I
Hey,
should have
whose
known.
sister? You took John's sister's stuff?
You
Yes,
done it
John,
before,
John,
sister.
Okay,
had
okay.
four
You get
sisters.
hurt?
So,
Like, you're not a skier. You're not like a you don't.
That was the problem.
well, John is a, like an Olympic skier.
Okay.
So the two of them go, you just go up the mountain and you come down. That's it. It's very simple. You go
Because everyone knows what goes up must come down.
So now we're in Massachusetts.
The
No,
condition,
we're in Vermont.
the condition what I
Vermont.
knew.
He was at school in Vermont. It was the iciest, snowiest day. The ski patrol was so busy. They were bringing people down on stretchers.
They were
Every
hiring
3
extra
seconds.
people just to work
Right.
with them.
Every 3 seconds, the stretchers would be coming down. The ambulances would meet them on the
In all
bottom.
fairness, we did get to the top of the mountain.
Right. So we go to the top of the mountain, on the whatever it's called, the ski
The chair-
lift,
Plateau, yeah,
the
okay.
chair lift.
That's tough to get on anyway.
So I get on. I'm wearing someone else's skis, someone else's shoes, someone else's jacket, and I'm get up on the ski lift, and they go, now you just get off and you swoosh down.
Getting off.
I go, okay. I get off by miracle, because it's a miracle I didn't kill myself. The two of them, they're skiing already. I look down and I go,
How am I getting down?
right. I take the skis off. I take the boots off. I sit on my tushy and I slide all the way down the mountain.
And all you heard
And-
was, wee!
And the ski patrol, who happened to be very cute guys, and I was a very attractive woman at that time.
You are
still
now.
oh!
So they were flirting and they couldn't believe what I was doing. So then they got me and they helped me go down the mountain on their skis. I was sitting on my little tush.
Oh my God.
And that was the third date.
Wow.
But wait, it gets even better.
It does?
Oh yeah, because we're driving back from Vermont.
Oh.
Right.
In my
In
Super Beetle Volkswagen.
Beetle
The
Volkswagen.
first year, the Volkswagen has been a great car for them, very reliable. But this one year, they changed it and they call it the Super Beetle.
Which didn't go uphill.
It
What
was
color?
A
Didn't
super,
go
it was a
It
super.
blue. It was a royal blue. It's very cute. So now
Adorable.
we're going home, and we go maybe 20 miles. We were about how far away? 2 hours?
Sorry, yeah, you're long.
2 hours from Boston. And the car goes, boop, dead. So I said, what's happening? He goes, oh, we're out of gas.
I was so blinded by my affection for her, my life kind of just stood still.
So we're sitting on a highway that's pitch black in Vermont.
No gas.
No gas. I'm
But-
sitting on the
but
front
I'm with
seat.
my baby.
Yeah.
This is
I'm
stuff.
sitting on the front seat of this.
You single
goes,
people, listen to this. This is a great story.
I'm gonna walk. He says, I'm gonna go walk to get gas. I said, okay, you go walk to get
we
gas.
didn't have serial killers then. They weren't even out.
I'm sitting here on a highway all by myself.
He
in
did?
a car. He did. He left
Well, wait.
on the side of the road.
Well, was it better if I made her walk to get the gas and I stayed in the car?
No, you went together.
How you know? My car is there. The car can get hurt.
Okay, now you see who I'm dealing with? I'm sitting there with a syringe on my lap that I carried with me all the
I
time.
never knew she had a syringe that whole time.
This long. It was a cardiac syringe. So I knew if somebody was going to come, I was going to stab them.
This woman can take care of herself.
I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I hear knock, knock on the window. I'm going, crap, what's going on now? I take a look. It was Massachusetts Highway Police
State police.
and state police.
I wasn't there with him.
You went to get gas. So I told him the whole story and everything. He goes, I'll stay with you till he comes back with his gas. And he did. And Dad came back with gas. And we had enough gas to get back to Boston.
Well, as the old Greek Aesop fable said, all's well that ends well.
I feel like though, like in your first 3 dates, you got to handle some pretty highly emotional situations
Why
that
do you
could
say
have been the
that?
foundation of a life after.
Like what? Like frustration, anger,
Contempt.
contempt.
So
jealousy.
third date. So third date, and then that's it, or
Then
what?
we got engaged.
Then he moved in and we got engaged.
I actually started a multi-generational trend. I was living with my parents after college. I said it's a trend that's very popular now. You realize that someone had, I even started a beard. When I had beards, no one even had beards out there. So kind of a trendsetter. And I said, you know what? We're dating we're seeing at work every day. We're going out every night. I said, why am I wasting going home? Why don't I just stay in your place? And she said, good idea.
And
So
that's
he,
when your roommate Maddie moved out.
she didn't move out for a while. She stayed there for a while, but then when things were getting more serious with us, I thought they were getting more serious, but then I would show up in the hospital and he'd be hanging out with the gang of idiots.
It was like that TV
Yeah.
show Friends. I think we were the precursor of Friends.
Right.
Ross and Rachel.
Yeah.
Yes,
And,
yes.
almost like
Yeah.
Cheers also.
So
Everyone knows your
I
name.
finally but he kept coming back home, because we were living in this. So I finally said to him, I said, this isn't working out for me so much. I could be dating a lot of people that are a lot better than you. So, get
And I
yourself together.
I said, no argument there.
Right. So then we went out to
my cousin Alan, we doubled
your
in.
cousin Alan.
Alan who's
He told that story on the podcast.
We
Yeah.
went to Provincetown, Massachusetts, Cape Cod, way in Cape Cod, the sand dunes.
Right.
It was cold. It was probably winters.
Yeah, it was winter, and we were barbecuing, and he was married to his first wife then. Oh yeah, that was a nightmare.
Okay, go.
Yeah. But anyway, so we went up on the sand dunes, and
we found some alone time.
Yeah, we found alone time, and I looked at him and I said, "You basically have 24 hours to make up your mind. Either we're going somewhere or we're not going anywhere. If we're not going anywhere, I got a lot of guys in New York who would like to see me, so I'm leaving."
You know what I said? Thank you. Yes, I will marry you.
Is that where it happened? Like you said, will you marry me?
Yeah.
But you had no ring, right? No ring at the
time. Ring yet. But then when we agreed to get married, then we started to look for a ring. And
everything is so traditional.
My idea of a ring and his idea of a ring were two different things. So we went to see Saba and Sapta to ask for permission to get married.
Oh, that was scary.
Yes. So Saba was
It was not a definite yes.
Right. So we went there, and
I was kind of grungy with my fried boots and my army jacket and long fur.
And you were a total hippie.
Very hippie.
But I really was.
But my parents were kind of supportive. But then we said, and then my mother said, "So where's the ring?" So we said, "Well, right now we really can't afford a ring. So I think we're going to get a CZ, and
that's Cuban
and later on we'll get a ring."
Why did you? You never want to know. Why did you even tell her that?
Right. I think you told her.
I did.
Yeah, I think you did.
You have the way of getting the truth out of you. She was
exactly.
You don't let her.
Remember that syringe now it's filled with sodium pentothal.
Right, exactly. So Sapta said, she looked at us and she goes, no diamond, no wedding.
I said, would you repeat that?
She said,
diamond,
no diamond,
no
wedding. Figure out how to buy a diamond. So
remember that Super Beetle I owned?
Yeah.
Show him.
I don't have my ring on. So basically we went back home and we went, okay. So he had his car, but then you got the job in New York too.
Maybe.
Yeah. So we were going to move back to New York. So he got a job in New York working for a pharmaceutical company, and he no longer needed his car. So we knew that. So he was going to sell his car. So we said, that's a good deposit for a ring. And then
deposit, just cover the whole cost.
No, we didn't. Though we sold the couch.
You sold the couch too?
Remember to Joey.
Remember Joey, who's now extremely well.
He owes you.
He's probably a billionaire.
Sorry. Hey Joey, you owe my couch.
Joey and his brother were very nice to us. But anyway, we sold Dad's car and we sold the couch to Joey and then we found out that his cousin Sarah was working for a diamond company. They were wholesalers. So Sarah said, come on up and pick out a diamond. So we went up to see Sarah and she took this little pouch and threw the diamonds in front of me. And I was like, whoa, what? I didn't even know where to start.
I said, we'll take them all.
Right. So we picked one out that I really, really loved.
Oval shape.
I wanted an oval shape. So we got the oval shaped ring and now we were back off to New York to tell them that we have the diamond so we can have a wedding.
And then her mother said, I think I changed my mind.
But how crazy. So, I mean, that was like 54 years ago, for the last 54 years, you've raised 3 children, you have 3 grandchildren, You have been through, I mean, I know just in my lifetime what you've gone through, so many different ups and downs and all arounds and
Right.
stumbles. You've seen the world change so much, and it's not very common to stay married for those many years. We had a conversation. We went on a date night this past weekend, and we talked about that so many families get divorced when their kids are like 9 or 10, or like when they're teenagers, or when they're empty nesters. And you have managed to stay together, which is just such a like inspiration to me for so many years. So for lack of, you know, being cheesy and asking this, but what do you think are those like secrets to doing that? Because you've definitely
Well, if people are non-committal, if you make a commitment and even read your own wedding vows, you're making a statement. You should adhere to it. And I don't think people take it seriously now. They should just say, "I'm going steady for the first 10 years. Well, let's do an annual contract." You're making a commitment. There are things you're committing to. Either you do that or you don't. And it's
Well, I think from the very beginning, you realize that marriage is not fairy tales and unicorns. It's a job. And it's a job that you either do well or you don't do well.
you do it quite well.
Well, thank you. So, and
Me, not so much.
but dad's sense of humor does not allow you to get too serious about too many things.
no
And that
kidding.
helps. And that helps as well, because as much as I want to kill him sometimes because he doesn't take anything
You're
serious.
looking at the classical opposites attract.
Correct. Yeah.
But don't you think that also like today relationships are very different because there's just so many different distractions and
No.
you don't think so?
No, I think the big difference in today's relationships versus then is I think it's the age that people are getting married. I think that when I was 12, my mother was already talking about if I wasn't married by the time I was 19, it would be the end of the world. It's different today. I know I didn't push you kids into getting married. You got married when you felt like getting married. So it's different. And you get married when you're older, you're kind of stuck in a different place. When we were 21, we got married. So you're kind of silly and foolish and you think you can conquer the world and you kind of do it together.
Yeah.
When you're older and you already have your career and each one of you wants to conquer the world separately, it's kind of hard to find that middle ground sometimes. And I think that's where the biggest issues are. So most of our friends, surprisingly, are married as long as us, some longer.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting how we've gravitated to friends that are also been married for this long.
Yeah. Wow. Well, and you guys have certainly led a very full life. You like to travel. You're both now retired, so you travel and you go and do some fun things. I steal dad for the podcast, but I think that
You borrow me. You borrow
I
me.
borrow you. I borrow you.
If you stole them, I'd be a lot happier some days.
I'm listed as an asset on the insurance policy. He's missing. He's missing. Where's my show me the money?
What advice, I'm coming up 11 years married. What advice would you give to me and your son-in-law for a long, happy marriage?
None.
Right. You got to find your own road. I think you're doing a great job, you and David, anyway. And I
Don't
think
mention names. Thanks a lot, Mom. Thanks a lot.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Don't mention the other names. Don't mention other
No,
names.
no.
Don't we edit this?
No.
It's I think it's the sense of humor that you both have and the crazy things that you both do is a very big help to your marriage. And never forget that it's a job. So when things aren't going well, you got to work harder. You got to work smarter. You got to do what you got to do to get through that period of time. We've had many, many ups and downs. No one gives you a book on how to have kids. You kind of have to decide what's right, what's wrong. And are we perfect? No, but we did the best that we knew how. There's no manual at all. You just do what it is. And
take everything seriously at the same time, nothing seriously. Right. People just, they can't have fun anymore. They lost that fun gene.
Yeah. I think, okay, so as you get ready to celebrate 54 years, my question would be, I'll give you some
Yes.
What do you love most about each other? Like, Dad, what do you love most about Mom? And Mom, what do you love most about Dad?
Well, the fact that I'm married up, I'm very, very happy every day when I look at my lovely wife. It's a blessing. Just that I think we found someone we could have a whole life with. You have a companion. You can be yourself, good, bad, ugly, the warts and all. And she accepts me for that. And she laughs a lot.
I do laugh a lot. And that's the key. I love Dad's sense of humor. He doesn't let me get too serious. He reminds me that nothing is the end of the world.
Except when it's
The end of the world.
Which, let's be honest, it could be tomorrow. No, just kidding. Well, I just think that we could talk for hours. Obviously, I do talk to you for hours. I'm so grateful that I get to have you as both of you as mentors and guides and inspiration of how the kind of life I want to lead and with my husband and as a partner. And just, I'm grateful that I still get to have both of you in my life and looking forward to celebrating this week, your anniversary, and celebrating your love together. And Mom, thanks for finally being on our podcast.
Oh, my pleasure.
And I think the best advice you can give to people, your children especially, is to lead by example. People don't want to hear words, do this, do that, do as I say, not as I do. Lead by example. Then everything becomes real and true to yourself.
Any other advice before we wrap up the show today, Mom?
Just keep laughing.
Yeah. Are you
Nothing else.
coming back for the post show?
What's that, me?
Yeah, you come back for the post show?
I'm already there. Look to your side. I'm already there. Watch, I'm coming in now. Come on.
Thanks, Mom. I love you.
I love you too, sweetie.
All right.
I'm gonna get gas in my car. I'll be right back.
Okay, got it. All right,
Yeah.
got it.
Trust me, that doesn't work out that well.
Bye, Mom. Love you.
Love you.
Well, listener, you just got some insight into my parents and our story. We know we get asked all the time, like, what's your story? And I know that there are so many different formats of families out there and families out there. And I am so grateful. Oh, there you are, that I get to do this podcast every week with my dad. Hi, Dad.
I'm sorry, I have an announcement to make. I really feel bad about this. It really shouldn't be done this late in the podcast. But currently, my wife and I are separated. Aren't we? Aren't we?
She's in the other room.
Well, that's the same thing.
You're such an idiot.
Respect. That's how I get my me time. It's me time.
Oh my gosh. Listener, we hope that you enjoyed this episode, a little insight into who we are. And we hope that you have a very happy Halloween and that you just recognize that life is short. Love those that are around you. Be with them. Spend as much time with possible. We know that families come in all different shapes and sizes. I'm so grateful that I get to still have both my parents. I know that it's not the same for many people. So love as long as you can. Hug and kiss those people in your world because those are the most important moments in life.
And please, anybody out of all of our 50,000 listeners, if you had a UFO experience anytime in your life, as a child, as an adult, as an adolescent, please reach out to us. We need to discuss this. I'm not talking probing necessarily, just meeting someone, seeing something. If you see something, say something.
Please, somebody send help. Bye, Dad.
Talk to you, kids. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, thank you for tuning into today's What's Your Story podcast.
To learn more or share your story, go to jamiemarco.com. That's www.jamiemarco.com. And we will see you next time.